live! Hello everyone! If you can hear me, please speak in the chat. Can you hear me? Oh, okay, no. Hello everyone! Can you hear me? Alright, let's go then. Start the second edition of Kagerou Daze Novel 1, an even more dramatic reading. Yeah. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Oh. So, for those who weren't here last year, let's recapitulate what happened last time on Kagerou Daze. Last time, we first had a glimpse of Hibi's experience in the Daze, cutting down to Shinta's terrible experience with the keyboard. We've forced him and Annie to go to the shopping mall to buy a new keyboard. Before I continue, is there a way to silence me hearing my own audio after I speak? Okay, I have to keep this turned on then. Alright, so I was testing something, it didn't work. So let's start. Anyway, as I was saying, Shinta and Annie went to the mall, and in the entrance they met Kido, which gave him a big scare. Now let's put on the page where I had stopped last time. Alright. Here. Alright everyone, hope you are excited to continue the story. Time to enter Shintaro mode. The design for the paved stone path leading from the entrance must have because a staggering amount of cash. It was hopelessly, fruitfully ornate, a mesh of rectangular scones in a dazzling variety of colors. No doubt it was meant to symbolize some grand work spirit or something or another more plebeians like me could never hope to understand. Dropping across this inscrutable creation of a no doubt lofty-minded artistic genius, I reached the building that illumined on the left side of my path. For directly underneath, it seemed impossibly high, giving the illusion of extending all the way into the cosmos. An information map, from an information map, again done up in gilded ornate fashion, stood in front of the enormous glass door. It was encased in an exquisite frame, one that would be right at home surrounding some great cultural masterpiece. Electronics. Oh, 7th floor. Once you're done on that up and down thing, I want to go on the roller coaster, okay? You can save the ferries for later. So, alright, I hear you. We're going. She kept repeating the itinerary like some magic incantation to the point where I could imagine up the thing and roller constantly leapfrogging each other in my mind, one spring along after other for eternity. Great! So, let's get the shopping over with. Mouse, keyboard! I need something to drink first. The door automatically opened as soon as I stood in front of it. In an instant, frigid air greeted me with its pleasant presence. The pleasant rush was enough for making all the big ruin. You make it sound so dirty, Master. That's the first thing you have to say to your master after he has come so far. Oh, crap. I had yelled out aloud at her. A family of customers browsing around the display of summer gear stared right at me. The youngest boy pointed towards me, laughing innocently. Oh, yeah. I was sure they saw me as some kind of invalid, but you nonetheless didn't believe in the smile. I let the boy watch me as I hurried myself towards the elevators and out of sight. Don't end up like me, kids. The elevators were in a room detached from a small distance from the shopping space, one that featured a bench and some vending machines lined up to the wall. An elderly man was sitting there, next to a woman with baby in her arms. Oh, vending machines! It had finally come, the moment where the ghetto beverage had thus far denied myself for some reason, waiting till I had arrived in the exact place. My throat was so dry, I was afraid my esophageal walls would glue themselves together. With breath I took 1,000 yen bill out of my wallet, a high roller I know, and fed it to the drinks machine. The carbonated beverage was all mine. The thought of the liquefied sugar was oozing into every cell of my body, filled my heart with childlike excitement. The moment the bottle lit up, I jammed my thumb into it. There was just 0.3 seconds worth of difference. I've got supernatural reflexes when I need them. The sound of the thudding sound of the can filled my eyes with its blunt melody. The thud was surely one of the joys of the vending machine experience. I was almost moved to tears by the clunk sound I had gone so long without hearing. The can I eventually plucked out was blissfully cold to the touch, like something from another world. It was sheer bliss, and my only regret was that this wondrous delight could only be savored by the palm of my hand. I was seized by the impulse to run this can around every inch of my branched body, but that really would make me a pervert. And after that, the time had finally come. I pulled the tab and opened the can. The sound serenaded my ears anew. The aroma of the carbonated beverage brusquely, carelessly my nostrils. Without a moment's hesitation, I brought it to my lips and poured it down my throat. And I loved the sick can. No, that hardly begins to explain the feeling. I let it fill me in every way possible. You should stop panting like that, Master. It's gross. No, it's beyond gross. Shut up! If you could drink this, you'd do the exact same thing. I would not. By the way, Master, the elevator's waiting. Out of the 4 elevators that lined the wall, the one of the far left was open, people quickly streaming out of it. Once emptied, it briefly began to fill with patient customers. Oh yeah, I'll take the next one, once I'm done drinking this. With that, I slurped out the soda, undying the fragrance carbonation as its sugary prelude infiltrated every cell of my... It's closing! Hurry up and drink it! Wait up for the next one, for Christ's sake! I'm busy! Come on, hurry! What if it's closed and we get up here? They are not gonna close the damn amusement park in the middle of the day! That elevator's full anyway! The remainder of the elevator line that I already opted against joined the pack of the sardines inside the car. Just hang tight for a second. I'll get us on the next one. Ignoring her as she put the phone on a low rumble, I examined the elevator a bit more closely. The up and down buttons were the kind that flip off just a light touch. The arrows done in a fist front that revealed the interior design's thoughtfulness. A short introduction to the story was written on a plaque next to the left-hand elevator. The built-in state-of-art computer control disaster prevention technology. The building state-of-the-art computer control disaster prevention technology provides the maximum level of safety possible in every corner of the store. Neat. State-of-the-art, huh? They better raise the state-of-the-art bit next year. Yeah, nice attention to detail there. You never know. Maybe put some new state-of-the-art stuff next year. Besides, they're just bragging, so all they're saying here is we got all this fancy junk on the outside, but inside is full of high-tech crap too, you know? Sounds like a pen to keep running. I'll bet. Oh, here it is. The one light on the new elevator flashed, and just as before, the riders flew through the open doors. Once everyone was spat out, the elevator was once again inundated with a steady stream of waiting shoppers. From where I was located, I would have no difficulty getting on this time. Passing the empty canyon to a nearby gas bin, I followed the flow between the elevator. The 7 button for electronics was already lit up in orange. Some previous passenger must have pressed it. I appreciated the gesture, given that the crush of people was making the button panel difficult to reach. When the elevator approached its maximum weight load, the door silently shut and they began to go upwards. The air conditioning was on, but all these riders in cramped spaces still made things sticky and uncomfortable. I wanted to get off as soon as possible, but stopped at nearly every floor before the 7. My body gets squeezed and needed every stop before I finally reached my destination. Finally, the door opened, and I filled out with a few more cautiousness. Compared to the summer wear, swimsuits and food that spread around across the first floor, it was a completely different world. The entire space was surrounded by large panes of glass, filling the floor with bright sunlight. The sense of fresh, inviting openness that filled it seemed strange for an electronics department. It considered high-class stateliness, like in a lit office building. The first thing that caught my eye was the kitchen goods department. It was lined with enormous refrigerators, all but daring customers to hang on entire pig's carcass from its roof. Something I would never fit into my place in a million years. I noticed the line of metallic, weapon-like rice cookers, all of which seemed far too complex for simply cooking rice. Colorful signs shouted, "New inventory and hot product!" in huge lettering. For someone like me with no interest whatsoever in this stuff, it all seemed totally like alien. A large aisle, it had to be 40 meters in length, slashed its ways across the entire floor. On the far end, I could see fancy-looking old systems and the latest flat-screen TV displayed on the wall. Whoa, this is huge. I bet this floor alone is bigger than most specialty electronics stores, huh? Not wishing to get screamed at any point more than I had already, I pointed my phone's camera straight ahead as I hit the aisle. There was nothing but large appliances at the forefront, and judged by the length of the aisles and the size of the building, you could probably find almost anything electrical you wanted in here. There must have been 10 or so employees milling around, all wearing vests with catch sales slogans seen on. "Master, what's that? It looks like a bomb." That? What is that? Some kind of water heater? It looks like a huge hand grenade. With its rough, rugged design and uniform dark steel colors, it must have been deliberately designed to resemble a weapon. If it weren't for the meter on the side showing the current water level, someone would have called the bomb squad by now.
That's so cool! Hey, Master, you mentioned you wanted some hot water earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, but I just don't feel like going downstairs to make some instant ramen, okay? I don't need that piece of junk in my room. That, and I'll still need to go downstairs to fill it up.
Oh, why not? You're making great conversation piece when you get to visit. Oh, I'm sorry. Said too much.
A pause descended between us. Her expression was solemn, as if she had accidentally brought up a friend's horrible incontinence problem at a dinner party. Let's just drop it.
I apologize. I just wasn't thinking so. I'll be more careful, Master.
Just drop it, okay? But check this thing out. That design is nuts. I frankly tried changing the topic to the microwave ovens lined up next to us across the halo. Not only are they perfectly normal, but they were also from a brand I had never heard of. A sign reading "Inventory clearance" was tacked on the wall, and they had all been discounted 2/3 of the list price.
How about it, huh?
How about it, huh? Nice and simple, but that's what makes avant-garde, right? What do you think, huh? Wanna take one home?
Master, you need that even less than the last thing. That one was a lot cooler than this. Oh, Oz, what did you come here to buy in the first place?
Oh, yeah, the mouse. Let's get it and go home.
Master?
2 quicks of jolts of vibration signaled her suddenly serious tone. No, oh yeah, Master. No, the amusement park. I didn't forget, right? Where's the computer stuff? I peek at the signs hanging from the ceiling, point out all the sort of electronics available. They were a little too specific to help me find what I want. Computer goes, computer. Oh! I'm so busy staring apart as I wander around that I bumped right into Sirius and Prime. It would have been a very bumping into guys kind of day. I was not a fan.
Excuse me, could you tell me where the computer equipment is?
I removed the earbud as I spoke, trying my best to sound apologetic to the employee while I did. Once I had a good look at her face, I realized she was, well, pretty beautiful. She had to have a boyfriend. The sheer femininity she exuded told me that much. Huh? The employee said confused for a moment. Oh, right, computers. Just go straight down the zero, then go right down the second to last aisle before the... Thank you. My first conversation for Nova the human thing since time immemorial made me nervous, but the relief at pulling it off, and it was such a pretty woman too, filled me with satisfying smugness. Yes, I like this store. I could feel my feet growing lighter as I trapezed down the halo. She pointed out,
Master?
What's up? My response sounded even, what's up? My response sounded even more upbeat than intended. Just talking to a woman really changed the person this much? I felt like I hadn't covered one of the great scenes of my life.
But this.
Suddenly I heard a stream of mint noise broadcast to my ear. What are you? Just as I was about to ask, I heard the murmur of background noise in my background. Then,
Excuse me, could you tell me where the computer equipment is?
Said the creepily hushed tone of a young man. This was followed by a plainly confused look, still clear and fresh from a young woman. Then the recording ended.
That's just how it sounded, Master. No wonder it took her a second to understand you.
The results of spending the past year engaging in monthly conversations with mysterious computer AI were now crystal clear. I felt like someone had driven cold, stone-like object to my stomach. I had to resist the impulse to scream at the top of my lungs.
I'm pretty used to it by now, but for normal people, that's gonna be pretty tough to decide.
Let's just go home.
No, Master! We haven't gone to the amusement park yet!
Oh, who cares anymore? This whole thing has been a roller coaster to me anyway. I was afraid the tears would fall out if I looked down, so I kept walking with my head tilted upwards. I was never coming back here again.
Oh, don't worry about it too much. If you want to talk, I'm always happy to listen.
Great, cause once you get home, I'm gonna need some counseling. I want to die.
You got it. So just hang on there for now, alright, Master? Look, we are almost at the computer session, aren't we?
To my right, I was greeted with an array of internet-ready headsets and cameras. They probably set this display to cash in on the big video streaming craze. It's just so stupid. Why can't we as a species all just stop talking to each other? The AU beyond was radiant with super thin notebook PCs and high-spec computers for online gaming, the sort of machines that would normally make me squeal with delight. But now, I just wanted to get my mouse and stuff, get on the up and down thing, get on the roller coaster, and get home. I got to get back home.
Master?
Alright. I plodded on towards the mice display, Signs on both sides invite me to get on the net quickly, connect your phone to a PC for video chat, and so on. It was honestly just tiring to look at. Working my way through the gold showroom, I finally reached the mouse and keyboard section. It was packed with all the latest gadgets, wireless, trackballs, you name it. Sure a lot of them, because it doesn't really matter what I get, but I might as well go for a durable model. Boom! It was so sudden, with no advance warning. A loud boom echoed the present time for, even blaring through my earbuds. It was a muffled, otherworldly kind of sound, not one I had heard before. On cue, I heard screams all around me. In an instant, my heart was racing. I impulsively ripped an earbud out. It added a vital sense of realism to the shouting and the chaos that ruled the showroom round. What the hell? I wasn't too narrow of an able to get the full picture. As I tried to reach the main halo, the sound of something heavy metallic turning downwards echoed down across the floor once again. I looked back towards the elevators, only to find the corridor had just walked down blocked by a white metal wall. It was as if the shutter was designed to cut the floor clean in half, the side of the elevator and this side. I was completely sealed off, the shutter not touching its single merchandise shelf and not leaving single exit. Looking around the shutter at the far end of now blocked main aisle, I instantly realized what was making the noise. I could hardly believe it. But once I grasped the reality of it, the blood draining impossibly quickly from my face. That thing must have caused the first blast, along with the screaming. The female employee I had just asked directions from was lying there, a red puddle slowly expanding beneath her, from her healthy-looking thighs to the white tiled floor. The twisted look of pain on her face contained not a trace of the sheer smile that was once there. A large man stood nearby. He wore stubbly beards and the sort of sheer, blood-hugged special force guys wear in the movies. He had his pistol in his hand and grabbed his hands from his hip. Real ones, a far cry from the water heater earlier. Yet it was strangely nonchalant, as if nothing was at all amiss. Several other men was around him, all dressed alike. They encircled the stubble-bearded man. Guns pointed at shops stuck in each aisle. Mine was in that blind spot, and from it I could hear the screams of the shoppers along the street and shouted commands from the men keeping them at bay. These employees were apparently just as helpless as the customers. There were likely more men besides the one I could see. Everyone who heard the initial explosion and gunshot. Everyone who actually saw it. Everyone else was running in panic towards around the floor. All of us were corralled together at frightening speed. It couldn't have taken more than a few minutes. This group had the showroom floor completely under the control of astonished speed. That's all then?
Yes, sir. That's everyone on the side of the floor, including the shoppers.
Good. I suppose our people busy enjoying their shopping on the holiday, or ever. Well, too bad. Guess you're all out of luck today, huh?
The stubble-bearded man bombarded those of us beneath us with this crass, unsettling voice. Several dozen of us were gathered in the corner of the VV departments on the far side of the 7th floor. We had all been made to sit on the ground, our hands bound with some kind of super strong Daze tape. The glass windows the sunlight had been seeping from just a moment ago were covered in white shutters, the kind employees lower down after the store closes. A cacophony of patrol sirens faintly whining in the background, and you could hear the voice of what was assumed to be police negotiations on the other side of giant floor pitching shutter. 9 men stood in front of us, all of them dressed like walking definitions of the word terrorist. 3 of them had their guns drawn upon us, 3 of them towards the shutter, and another 2 were close by the presumed leader, the stubble-bearded man, engaged in conversation.
13 hours, in time.
Right. At the side signal of his partner, who had been keeping a close eye on his watch, the stubble-bearded man took out his cell phone. He began to talk, the picture of Kalman's, like he was ordering a pizza. Suddenly, the voice emanated not from the man in front of us, but from the building's PA system high cloud.
Test. Oh, can you hear me? Hello, officers. Another boring day on patrol, huh? I'm only gonna say just once, so pay attention.
The moment he began to speak, the negotiators across the shutter fell silent. The man took a breath, the faraway silence the only voice could hear.
As you probably noticed, we have taken over this floor. We have gotten several dozen hotels. They are all right for now. For now. So let's make this quick. We have one demand. We want 1 billion yen within 30 minutes.
The man continued in his perfect tone, not giving notice to the reactions around him, as if he was simply asking for a slice of cheese bread.
The handover will take place half an hour from now, on the roof of this building. One of our men is already stationed up there. You drop the money to him from a helicopter. Don't bother with counterfeit bills or tracking devices or anything. You'll be wasting your time. Also, and I'm sure you can guess this, but if I start him like, but we didn't die, release the hostage first, we are going to immediately kill everyone body here.
This caused an instant clamor from the captured customers, one that was just as quickly halted by the barrels of the three men's guns. Several customers were quietly choking back their sobs.
Well, that about wraps it up, so try to act accordingly, alright? If you don't follow what I told you, no matter what it is, I suppose you know. Catch you later.
After the man finished, his voice no more excited than if he were chatting with friends, he sat down on a nearby bench, acting like this whole business was terribly annoying to him. How many people ever become terrorist hostages in their lives? It can't be that high a percentage. Now, how about people who get taken hostage after stepping out of their home for the first time in 2 years? Anyone besides me? I was disgusted with my utterly complete lack of good fortune. If today wasn't a very definition of luck day, then I didn't know what was. We have got nothing to do right now.
We have got nothing to do right now. You think I should have made it 15 minutes?
The man had the leg on one knee, playing with his cell phone, not a care in the world. I thought the ringleader of a gang about to commit the crime of the century would be, I don't know, less lethargic.
It's only a little longer now, sir,
said one of his nearby cronies, trying his best to tactfully appease him. They were acting like they got away with the perfect crime. What were they planning to do after this? Did they have an escape helicopter coming? No way. They tracked it down and rounded up in one fell swoop. There had to be at least one more gang member, the guy who lured the shutter and set up the PA announcement, besides the handover man of the rope. So much for that state-of-the-art maximum level of safety crap. This is a total disaster! That fancy man system gave them exactly the tools they needed. If all the security equipment was controlled by computer, anyone who said that computer could have this entire structure that fingerprints from the control room. I had no idea how they did it. By judging by how calm they were, they must have been confident about their escape. They didn't make it look perfect, but everything had been handled perfect so far. They had to have something planned. But I didn't feel like quite waiting for it. Alright folks, now a quick pause for me to drink some water while I read your message. Are you enjoying it so far? Thanks, I like making dramatic voices. That's why I took this kind of panel. Alright, time to get back to it. With the releases, these men didn't look like they care about human lives any more than a stray bug on their leg. And now they had their lives in their hands. A situation as unstable as this could fall apart at any moment. A catalyst. If there was just some kind of catalyst, they could flip this completely over. Suddenly, suddenly, the stubble-bearded man stood up, his face twisted in pain. Hold the back of his head. Hey! Ew! The man approached one of his cronies and put him right in the stomach. Don't harm me! Who the hell you think you're punching the head? Huh? Come on, tell me! He launched a swift kick at the crony, still rating the floor. Everyone nearby tensed up at this odd turn of events. Not even the man guarding us could fully conceal their agitation. What the hell is going on? I whispered to myself. As the ringleader's angry voice boomed across the floor, the man sitting behind me to the left suddenly began to snicker. Huh? Surprise! I turned to look at the man who erupted in this sudden, incredibly inappropriate light. Huh? Oh, sorry. Like it was just so funny. I couldn't help myself. I suppose he was a little younger than me. His large, cat-like eyes were situated underneath short, light brown hair, his face covered by grey sports jackets. Something fun to you? What? Oh, sure, it isn't that. No, I can't help but notice you got some very interesting-looking eyes. Let me guess, you're thinking about doing something, but like, you haven't sported a good chance yet, right? The shouting continued. Everyone, terrorist and hostage, was completely on edge. And yet this guy acted like he couldn't care less, as if it just were a movie and he was watching it on TV. What do you... Our hushed conversation was run out by all the terrorists ranting. The man with the cat-like eyes continued. Oh, just a hunch. How about it? You have some kind of secret plan, maybe? Guys like this, if I could get my hands free, I could make their eyes bug out in half a minute. Yeah? Huh. Oh, you don't look like her lying either. So, what kind of chance are you giving yourself? Not to brag, but 100%. But 100%. He began to snicker derisively again. You don't have to believe me. I doubt I can get just tape off anyway. No, sorry, it's not that I don't believe you. I just love that crazy confidence you have. Yeah, neat. He did not look like he believed me at all. In fact, he looked like this entire crisis was the greatest matinee show ever. But this wasn't crazy man driven by a mad panic by the ordeal. His words were strangely soothing. And I think if you wait a bit, that guy's probably gonna walk over the PA system again. It'll be like guaranteed success chance after that. And then, well, it'll be up to you, I guess. Good luck, okay? Huh? What are you talking about? Don't you remember? I can't even get my hands... My hand... God, this is pissing me off. Hey, get me on the mic again. I got something I want to say to these idiots.
Oh, yes, sir.
Pointing out his cronies one by one as they tried to plead their cases to him, apparently failed to quell the stubble-bearded man's anger. The veins on his forehead bulged visibly as he ordered one of his men to get him back to the PA. It couldn't have been more than 20 minutes since the last announcement, and here we go again. The cat-eyed man took in the scene, basking every minute of it. Whether it was confidence or not, he had predicted all of this. Will your cat give him a chance? And even if he did, unless I could get this tape off my hands, there was no way to take advantage of it. After his men reported back, the man took out his phone and began his second screen, the broadcast. You guys hear me? I'm taking 10 minutes off the time limits. You now have 10 minutes left. You start whining about how that's not enough, I'm killing half the hostages. Got it? Got that? Once more, the hostages began to shout and scream. The terrorists guarding them, so quick to silence the group early, seemed just as confused at the sudden change of plans. Also, I'm gonna say just now, but after we get the money, we are all in a helicopter. I'll advise against trying to track us. If we go down, the bomb we got in there is gonna take a nice chunk of the city out with us. If we notice even the slightest hint of any pursuit, we are gonna drop that sucker. A commotion rose up against the police on the other side of the shutter. I couldn't blame them. They were taking the entire city hostage. Whoever these men were, they were a tightly structured group, one of a scrupulously designed plan. They are willing to stake the lives of everyone in town to make their escape. And given how alarmed they apparently were, no way the police alone could handle them. What in the short of time. What's he thinking? My house could very well be within the bomb range. If my mother, my little sister was back home right now, no way they could escape the blast. Damn, this has got to stop! I could feel myself growing increasingly unable to contain my blubbering frustration. The cat-eyed man spoke to me as if he saw this coming. Stay cool. This will just be a little bit longer, so stay cool. I couldn't take back his laid back idiocy anymore. What are so goddamn relaxed? My family might die in a few minutes! I had screamed at the top of my lungs. The entire floor fell completely silent. Even the man guarding us looked bewildered for a moment. The cat-eyed man made an "Oh dear, now you have done it" face for a moment, but still didn't look particularly disturbed. The stubble-bearded man turned his sharp gaze towards me. Then he started walking my way. When he reached me, he stooped down and brought his face close to mine. "Who the hell do you think you are?" The moment he spoke, visions of all the man's previous violent behavior flashed across my eyes. My body was filled with a kind of fear that was completely alien to me. I began to shake convulsively. Hey, what's the shake you're shaking for? Where did all that macho bullshit go, huh? Smirking, he took me by the hair and pulled me up. All skin and bones, aren't you? I bet you don't even go outside at all. And with later shutting past you, nobody's gonna miss you when you're dead. Oh, really? The man erupted in a burst of laughter, then turned to speak with his crew. His loud voice literally rang in my mind. Good thing I only had to listen to him at full blast with one of my ears. For life. Ah, you say something? Speak up. I can't hear you. I looked him in the eye as I tried to articulate as much as possible. I hope all of you bastards get shot into a jail cell for life! Oh, nice! That was a good one. The moment after my would-be critic stopped talking, a large television hanging just behind the man fell to the ground with a tremendous crash. It was so sudden that everyone instantly turned around the sound. After that, the oversized speaker beneath it began toppling over, boom, boom, one over the other, boom, boom, even though nothing had even touched them. What the hell? The stubble-bearded man tossed me away like a rag in anger and walked towards the man's gun in hand. There's somebody! Before I could finish, the shuffle just the man suddenly torpedoed. The master Daze was holding, falling and handling an avalanche. Beyond the fallen shelf, I could see the computer department I had been holed up in when this all began. I had no idea why all of this was happening so suddenly, but this had to be my chance. A moment later, all the tension drained from my body. Off you go! Looking forward to it! I turned to the cat-eyed man next to me. He was waving a hand with me, smiling. Somehow we were both unbound. My heart pulsed louder than ever before on that day. Even louder than when the siren jarred me awake that morning. I placed a hand on the floor and nimbly pushed myself up to my feet in a single motion. The gun toting terrorists was completely taken aback, unable to follow what was going on. I could commiserate. I didn't really understand what I was doing either, but I knew what I had accomplished. I jumped over to the mound of merchandise covering the stubble-bearded man, using his springboard to make sure he stayed there, and leaped for a computer display beyond. The other man finally reacted, turning their guns towards me. I could hear screaming of "Look out!" from the group of hostages. But all these reactions were too late. The target of my mission was right in front of me. Before my final leap, I gripped the phone I had taken out of my pocket for the first time in what seemed like years, called for a "Annie, do it!"
Once I'm done, we are going to the amusement park, okay?
Through the earbuds in my right ear, I heard the young girl's voice, perky as always. I had taken the phone in the display demonstrating the computer's phone connector cable and replaced it with my own. In a blink of an eye, I could see familiar forms suddenly occupying every display in the room. As I saw it unfold, my stomach was suddenly racked by a force. As I saw it unfold, my stomach was suddenly racked by a force I had never experienced before. A force like someone driving a hammer into my torso. Then the world faded out of focus. I crumpled to the ground, unable to cushion my fall. My unprotected face hit the white tiled floor. I could feel all the strength rapidly drain from my entire body. As my conscience ebbed, I could hear all the shutters open up at once. My body was bathed in warm sunlight. It reminded me of sitting in my desk by the classroom window, napping. I swore I could hear a certain voice in the past talking to me. How long was I out? I woke to find myself lying in bed with a book-filled room. I looked over to find the sink and a towel. Someone must have been taking care of me. My mind was still hazy as I felt around my pocket. My cell phone was nowhere to my find. Back there, when we were taken hostage. Through the earbud that I had kept in my ear, Annie had never stopped talking to me. To be honest, I think she was annoying me far more than that stubble-bearded guy. Right after they rounded me up, she was functioning as a sort of off-kilter cheerleader along the lines,
"Oh, this isn't good. Better keep yourself calm, Master. I know you can survive this."
but by the second half, when the stubble-bearded man was bearing down on me, she had transformed into a white-heart ball red.
"Can you kill this guy, Master? Can we? We can, right?"
The entire building was under complete control. As long as I could get Annie into the system, it didn't matter who occupied the control room. It was obvious that no hacker could have outwitted her. When I met the hostage, unable to use the camera or talk to me directly, it was really a shock how she could figure out what was going on strictly by audio cues and occupy the whole system in milliseconds. I always thought her head was a little buggy, but I guess she had it more together than I ever knew. Anyway, I suppose I'm still alive right now thanks to Annie. I was still a little fog in the details, but I guess I should thank her. I never got to take her to amusement park either. But my phone is on here. Did I leave it in the store? I'm sure she could easily find her way back out, but for now, however, I had better take advantage of this time and suddenly seem to have all to myself. But today I think I'll just sleep all day. What the hell am I? I shot off the bed and tried to gouge my arms. I heard a clang, and then I saw her, a girl with long, white, fluff hair. Was she my nurse or ever here? Apparently started by my sudden outburst, she had fallen out of her chair.
I am sorry.
For some reason, she apologized to me. Then, for some other reason, she hid behind the chair. Once my head cooled down and I had grip on the situation, I noticed that my body was almost entirely pain-free. I seem to remember being shot in the stomach.
Could you ask, Master, you are awake?
The moment I tried to speak to her, I heard an incredibly familiar voice. What was less familiar were the three figures that followed through the open door. Then I saw the cat-eyed man, the guy who the entrance to the purple cuts. At that time, I had been sure he was a guy. But upon close inspection, she was definitely female. And Momo, my younger sister, hold my cell phone.
Oh, Master, I'm so glad to see you in good shape. Now we can all go to the amusement park together.
Annie, blubbly as always, called me from the phone speaker. Momo? And you? That guy from...
You're so stupid, bro. I was so worried about you. And Eddie, you really can't expect us to hit a roller coaster after a day like that.
Mom and Annie had apparently gotten acquainted with each other. They already sound like good friends. I guess I wouldn't mind going, but, well, first off, what am I...
See? Oh, Matthew, what a rough and tough movie hero you are. A real man always sticks to his word. Let's go, right now, come on.
Hey, what? The cat-eyed man chimed in. People are going to the amusement park? What? Come to me too. Let's do it. We are
going out again?
The white-haired girl is still sitting on the floor, seeming disturbed by the concept. Yes, sorry for the commotion. Luckily that shot only grazed you, so they decided to bring you back here for now. Didn't want to attract too much attention to ourselves. What? The hooded woman seemed different from before, especially those eyes.
Master, we gotta hurry. The park's gonna close.
There were too many conversations chaotically flying around at once. My brain was over capacity. I decided to stop thinking for a bit. Just whatever. No rest for the wicked, I suppose. Never should have expected any. I was hoping they would let me be by just a little bit longer, but Annie's splitting high-pitched voice refused to allow me even that. I think I probably let a vague kind of half smile cross my lips. The cacophony of cicadas buzzed beyond the windows, just as loud today. A long, long August 15th was just about to begin. How are you folks enjoying so far, everyone? We are almost out of time, so we only have enough time to read the next small section by Hibia, and after that we'll finish we'll finish the panel. Is that's alright with everyone? All right, let's finish this with a top note. Kagerou Daze 2.
I had a terrible, hateful dream. A dream where I went away, right before my eyes. I had it time and time and time again. I said yesterday, I saw everything. How many times I have seen it today? How many times does yesterday make? How many times have we talked to each other in this park? It's the first time for you, maybe. But I lost count long ago. I remember talking to you about this before. Many times before. And you always believed in me. And you were always so seriously concerned. But every time, you always die in the end. When I ring up to stop with you, you get worried for me. You get sad. So I decide to stop talking about it any longer. It's alright. Now it's alright. I really start to like to talk to you here in the park. Just listening to you speak is enough. You have told me the same thing so many times. I have memorized every word. That's fine. That's fine. So I just wanted you to keep talking. Because when I hear her voice, I don't have to listen to the cicada's noise. Because I can focus on nothing but that voice. I look at my watch. It was just about 1:30. When I head home, I extended a hand and he grabbed it, looking terribly embarrassed as he did. So uncomfortable with me, right up to the end. No wonder it's never popular. But, well, our time is just about up. Better get going. Thanks for everything, Hibia. The noise cicadas, the haze shivering across the road. I hate everything about summer. As I looked up, the steel pole was just about to land on my face.
And that's it, folks. That concludes our novel reading for the year. Hope everyone enjoyed the panel, and hope everyone enjoyed this panel. Thanks, everyone. Now let's get some rest, take the chance to go to the bathroom or drink some water, because soon we start the next panels, which everyone wants to watch, right? Yeah, that's it. Clap, clap. Bye, bees. See ya, everyone. And in the transmission. Encerrar.